Recording. So welcome back to the Nightmare MMA Hour. Today I have with me a very special guest. His name is Damon Roulhac. Go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hey everyone, thank you Julian for having me on your podcast. Super excited. My name is Damon. I've known Julian for about since the sixth grade now.
Tell him how we met. Tell him. Go ahead and tell him. Go ahead and tell him. You like to tell the story, so go for it. Go ahead.
so
I want
yeah,
everybody to
um,
hear it.
it's a great story from my point of view at least. So this guy actually used to bully me. Um, Kidding, not kidding. No, we just used to play, like flag football or two-hand touch football before class would start. We also have my boy Kershaw here. So you'll probably hear him every once in a while. So we used to play, two-hand touch football before, and the 8 a.m. bell would ring, and I don't know, like we would just start playing, and there was this one specific day where I don't even know who this dude was. He had braces, but like half of them were missing. I was like, I don't know what is up with this dude, but he kept trying to like not start something, but like I would like make a play and he would like aggressively tap me, be like, "What, you trying to do something?" I'm like, "It's 7:30 in the morning, bro. Like, calm down." But no, just over the years, I think eighth grade is when we actually started like establishing a friendship.
Yeah,
I know we
when
had like
we're cadets together.
yeah, we got to boss sixth graders around in PE class, so that was fun. And then high school is when we got stronger and stronger through high school football, and then just maintain that relationship, post high school, post college, and whatnot. And here we are. So yeah, that's I guess you did ask, tell them about myself.
Yeah.
So I went to UC Irvine. I graduated in 2017 with a BA in Business Economics and Management. While at Irvine, I actually picked up lacrosse because there's no football team at lacrosse. There's no football team at Irvine. I always say, there's a science library, but no football stadium. So I picked that up. Pretty fun. After 4 years, I think I turned pretty decent. I mean, he'll jab and poke fun at me, but I think I'm pretty okay. I actually got recruited to play semi-pro lacrosse, so I'm actually entering my second season with the Irvine Skyfire now. Shout out to the Mushu crew. Um, and then I also started coaching youth and high school lacrosse as well. So I coached 2 seasons for the Irvine Rangers and 1 season with the University High School Trojans. So a pretty fun experience. And through all that, I've also started my own business. I run a financial services educational platform in Newport Beach. So a good amount of us in that office just teaching money principles and essentially helping out the 99 percenters who don't get that day-to-day education.
Like me.
Aside from that, just we're in the gym every day, 5 a.m. Shout out to our trainer Nick. Um, and yeah, just constantly growing, growing, and growing. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm here today, just to kind of talk about that growth and
Yeah,
positivity.
definitely. That's probably the biggest reason why I wanted to have you on. You introduced me to your business and the environment and the kind of people that come up through it. And everybody is cut almost from the same cloth as we are, as far as being extremely motivated, wanting better for ourselves, trying to make the most out of life, whether it be financially or anything else. So when you introduced me to that, I was really, really attracted to everything, and you kind of helped me change from my victim mindset into someone who wanted to grow, someone who wanted to be better. You were definitely a big part of that. And right now, no, let's take it back. Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, or something,
Mhm.
you took me to what's called a wealth bowl through your company, and I got to meet and well, not really meet, but just be around extraordinary people. And one thing they introduced us to was a 100-day challenge. You've been posting on your stories about your 100-day challenge, but if you want to go ahead and tell the listeners a little bit more about that and what your specific goals are with your challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you mentioned, at the self development event, it was 3 days back to back. It's funny when I invited him, I was like, just be ready. I didn't give him all the details. I didn't want to scare him. I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't want him to like freak out or anything. So it was 3 days. It was Thursday through Saturday. It was like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.,
Yeah,
6 a.m. to 10
it
p.m.,
was tough.
6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then we drove back the same day from Arizona. Um, so I believe on that Sunday we had that 2 hour. It was a 2 hour like train the brain seminar
Hmm.
by John Assaraf. He's actually one of the producers of the movie The Secret. The Secret is a book, amazing book, just how to tap into that next level. So the person who or produced a movie about that came to this event and did a whole like step by step on how to like why your brain acts the way it acts, and then how to overcome that like fight versus flight. So one thing he challenged us at the end of his 2 hours was this 100-day challenge. He was saying if you truly want to develop a lifestyle habit, not just a trend, not just a good month, a lifestyle habit, you need to do something for 100 days, consistent, no excuses, no miss days. If you miss a day, start over. Like it has to be 100 days at the minimum. It can be a year, but 100 it will actually have a life changing effect. So we've taken that challenge personally. I've my three things I'm currently doing, and I do post every day for accountability purposes on my
Mm.
Instagram. I am working out every day. I am committing to not drinking. I'm not saying I drank a lot, but just just moderation, just trying to just be healthier. And then the last one is huge, which I have not really ever done, is I'm reading a minimum of 10 pages from one of my self-development books. And then just to add a little extra on it, I like to post my favorite quote from today's
Mm.
reading. So today is actually day 22, I believe. And
Yeah.
in the 22 days, I've already finished the book Relentless by Tim Grover. Amazing book.
Mm.
For those who don't know, Tim Grover actually coached Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and a bunch of other
Mm.
successful athletes. So if you're an athlete or just a very fierce competitor, I really recommend that book. Now I'm currently working on Quiet Strength by Tony Dungy. He was the former coach of the Indianapolis Colts, he was the first black coach to win a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, first African American coach to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Kershaw, black coaches.
And another thing Tony doesn't get credit for is building the famous Buccaneers defense. He was actually the coach that was there before John Gruden. He kind of
Yes.
put all the pieces together.
Hmm.
So Tony Dungy is just an incredible coach, an incredible human being. He's coached some of the all-time greats. We're talking about Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning. Shit, the list goes on. Warren Sapp. So yeah,
Not even from a player standpoint, but his coaching tree is phenomenal.
yeah.
Herm Edwards, Lovie Smith, who's the dude from the Cardinals, Darryl Green, the playoffs guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a very well established coaching tree as well. So I'm currently on, I believe, chapter 6 of that, and I'll probably knock it out in the next 2 weeks. So it's pretty awesome. But yeah, the what I find amazing about this 100-day challenge is, I'm not posting on social media to brag or like, look at me, I'm changing, I'm making moves. What I'm really doing is I'm showing that in a moment's notice. And it's funny, Cash said this on Saturday. He's my mentor in Newport Beach. Um, he literally said, what I love about our business is you can reset, and like you can wake up tomorrow and reset and start fresh. Like it doesn't matter what you did. I'm 25 years ago, you can start tomorrow and make that decision.
Mm.
So as I'm posting every day, I'd say I get about 1 to 2 people a week who kind of reach out. They either like encourage me, like, yeah, that's awesome, way to go. Like, damn, that's crazy. I could never do that. And my response is, you absolutely can. You
Yeah.
just have to make that decision. You just have to be committed, not interested, if that makes sense. So, whether it's, hey, I want to drink less. Hey, I want to eat better. Hey, I want to, start a business. Hey, I want to just grow in some way, shape, or form.
Mm.
That is why I'm posting every day, for that, just to be fully transparent and just show you that, like, all it takes is one decision to move with intention, and then you can begin that journey of growth and transformation, essentially.
Mm. Another thing they talked about at this conference was something called massive immediate action.
Absolutely.
That's something that really, really affected me in the best way positive or the best way possible. I've been telling you about starting this podcast for how long now? I'm in the middle of an injury right now, but I've been telling you I'm going to fight for how long now?
Mhm.
Granted, I do have smokers and things of that sort, but when they talked about massive immediate action that Monday, I went and I bought this laptop.
Yep.
I went and I built a website. I went and I paid for a logo to be made. Um, so yeah, that's something that really, really stayed with me. What what were some of the things you did to take massive immediate action, and what are some things other people can do?
So For me, like obviously you have your MMA journey
Mhm.
and your nightmare brand and everything. So for me, one of my passion projects, the reason why I'm working so hard, and I'm grateful to have found a vehicle that can provide me the income to get the capital to start this passion project. So I'm looking to start, which I actually reached out to my buddy, well, TK Andrew. I don't know what he prefers to be called. Amazing individual, but he has the phrase "the next generation" in his brand essentially. So I actually reached out to him because I'm looking to create a youth center in the next 5 years, and it's gonna be like an all for one. It's like a YMCA on steroids. I want it to be athletic development. If you're trying to be a D1 athlete, boom, I got state of the art
Mhm.
facility. For those 99% of us who don't make it to the league, academics. But I'm not. It'll be like tutoring, tutoring, but also like research facilities for like the STEM sciences, the STEM fields. Mental health, because I feel like I don't know if speaking for myself, I personally feel like I didn't really have an environment where I could just come up and be like, "Hey, mom,
Yeah.
like something's not sitting right with me. Can we talk
Yeah.
about it?" And I'm not saying they refuse to talk about it. I just never had the confidence to believe I could have that conversation. So through many years and ups and downs, now I'm learning like, no, I got to be fully transparent.
Mhm.
I can't just let the stuff weigh on my chest. And whether it's friends or my amazing girlfriend Jasmine, or even like the couple months I did therapy, which is amazing.
Mhm.
That helped me with some mental breakthroughs. I want that in this facility. I want essentially just a hub for growth, because I mean we've all seen recently like all the like social media trends. Like entrepreneurship is now not necessarily a trend, but it's kind of a means of survival now with
Mhm.
COVID, as people are
Oh
losing
yeah,
their
for
jobs and
sure.
losing their paychecks. We just recently saw how powerful the masses are when you put that power in their hands. Like Robinhood just shut down for like a couple days, and yeah, that's a whole other
Yeah, it
conversation. But
stonks.
but so that's my passion project. Just start this center in the middle of LA and then expand it, make it a national thing. But what I started to my immediate massive action to answer your question was I actually one started doing research. I'm in the process. I'm gonna get the DBA like next week. I'm just waiting to move addresses so I can have my address as the DBA location. um, I've actually really hammered or buckled down on the research aspect of it. I've been working closely with another mentor of mine. He's a real estate broker in Irvine, and he's literally giving like piece by piece by piece, like step one, step two, step three, step four. Like you need an attorney, you need a CPA, you
Mhm.
need this, you need that. So I'm looking for those people. I'm actually writing things down. I think the first day I got back, I took a whiteboard and I like literally wrote down my vision of this youth center and like the needs and wants, the
Mhm.
do's and don'ts. And similar to you, I've wanted to do this, but I've never actually put some
Mhm.
action. There's no results to it.
Mhm.
So that was step one. Step two was just always looking for more income. 2020, my business was pretty solid. Hit some mental roadblocks, took a little dip, kind of went dormant for a couple months. So I rejuvenated that, I revived it. So now I'm hitting it hard again. And then step three, just possible just through networking and essentially networking. That's the key to anything.
Mhm.
Just kind of really taking my fitness and my athletic career more seriously. So actually being in the gym every day, committing to my diet. December I lost 15 pounds and 2% body fat. This month I'm just trying to put some more muscle on and get
Mhm.
stronger than what I was. So just making that decision to commit to my goals, and actually fulfilling certain action steps to put in which are in alignment with those goals.
Mhm. One thing you're really big on is actually writing things down, having some sort of like a vision board or whatnot. Um, what do you suggest people do when it comes to that? Like, as far as when should you be revisiting your notes? When should you be revisiting your board? When should you revise your board?
Hmm.
Um, like, what's your approach when it comes to these things? Because I know you're extremely good at all this stuff. You've
Yeah,
taught me a lot when it comes to this. So,
yeah. So first and foremost, I'd say like 99% of what I preach was taught to me through my mentors. So, and one, in any type of environment like sports, business, you want a mentor who's already paved the way. You may not do the
Mhm.
exact same things they've done, but they can be like, hey, I did that, don't do that. Hey,
Mhm.
this works. Hey, that doesn't work. So, in terms of writing things down, essentially, when you write something down, you're writing a contract with yourself. Obviously, you could sign it if you want. You don't have to, but
In blood.
but essentially, and I say business plan because I have business goals attached to it, but it doesn't have to be like if you just want to strive to be a better person.
Mhm.
Essentially, every morning I wake up and I have my business plan. I have my affirmations, and this is really through the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You essentially have to write down what you want, what you're willing to sacrifice for it, because you have to give up something. Like I give up alcohol and
Sleep.
sleep and toxic weekends to hit my goals. So what you want, what you're willing to sacrifice, and what action steps you're going to take today to hit those goals. So and even as I read these books, I'm writing down notes, I'm writing down phrases, statements, concepts that resonate with me. Um, but to answer your question, the answer is every day. So you want
Mhm.
to create your business plan, your daily affirmations. Perfect example is Muhammad Ali. He was telling himself, "I am the greatest," while he was still getting knocked down and
Oh yeah.
before he was the champ. But I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest.
Mhm.
I'm the greatest. And guess what? He was the greatest. Like
Yeah.
essentially, like boxing aside, as a political figure and an icon. Um, so the important thing is when you, because let's be real, like I don't know if you've experienced this yet, but like after you go to some type of event, you will be fired up
Oh yeah.
for the first like again. I mean that's the importance of immediate massive action. You take that excitement and you don't just go home and say that was cool.
Yeah, it's all
Like
about momentum.
you go do something.
Yeah.
You go create that momentum and you go keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. So once you kind of not die down, but you don't have that buzz from
Dude,
the environment anymore.
there's been days where I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I'm feeling good, feeling good. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Then that old mindset kind of like it sneaks in and it's like, yo,
Absolutely.
the fuck are you doing? Who the fuck do you think you are again? And it's
So,
like, no,
so
no, 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 no. Push that down, push it down, push it down. And yeah, like you're saying, dude, it's a struggle some days where I wake up and I'm like, nobody's gonna listen to me. Nobody knows what the fuck. I have like 10 listeners and they're all like my friends. So it's like,
yeah, you wake up at 4 in the morning. It's 41 degrees outside. It's
yeah, and I'm still
freezing.
I still don't have my dream body. I'm still not shredded, and I've been working out hard for this hard for what, like 3 months now?
Yeah, too
And
much.
it's like, man, there's some days where I'm just like, it's raining outside. Friday, I woke up in the morning, went out to my car, tires on the rim, and I text Damon. I'm like, look, dude, I'm probably not gonna make it to the gym today. And then I sat in my car for a few minutes, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's raining. Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, my tire's flat. Do I know how to change a tire? 100%. But again, roads were wet, all this and that. I'm a fucking idiot, so I didn't trust myself to change my tire in the rain. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym. I called up to my insurance company, had them send the driver, got my tire changed onto my spare, went to the gym. Immediately after the gym, went around the corner, got my tire fixed. So, even though you do have these dips, you do have these moments where you feel like mentally you're falling off, physically you're beat up,
Hmm.
and you just don't want to get up and do what you need to do. But like Damon was talking about, when you write things down, it's a contract to yourself. And what happens when you are reading these things every single day, like I do, like Damon does, like other very successful human beings do, when you do have these dips, those things start to click because you remember them because they're deeply embedded here and they're deeply embedded here. And as I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like making all these excuses why I could miss the gym today. Um, but no, my reasons why start coming in. And comfort's a terrible thing. You don't want to live a comfortable life when you're
Right,
trying
right.
to grow. So I was like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable right now. Was I worried driving to the gym in the rain on a spare? Fuck yeah, I was scared to death. I fucking had to take the drive at like 30 miles per hour. I was getting honked at, fucking flown around, but gotta do what you gotta do. So, part of the reason why I went on this little spiel is massive immediate action, those dips that you feel, and you just have to continue to stay motivated and, find before you do start your journey, think about your reasons why. Sit down with yourself, break down all your mental barriers, and just focus on why you truly do the things you do, not the material reasons, not the vanity reasons, but why you actually do what you do. And what I've come to find, especially this year, is that the things my reasons why totally outweigh any sacrifice I could make. I don't care how fucking cold it is outside. I'll walk to the gym while it's snowing, even though it will never snow a day here. Um, because my reasons why are just so much bigger, and my dreams are fucking terrifying to me. But that's what makes me wake up every morning at what 4 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
and get my ass to the gym and get my ass kicked by this guy and our trainer. Um, so yeah, again, you're going to have those dips, but you just have to take notes, write down your goals, read them every day, and even when you're down, you're going to keep getting up and getting up and getting up because it's just so deeply embedded.
And there's a powerful lesson in that because as you build Nightmare Industries and you start to
Nightmare Industries is my horror company that I'm trying to work on. I'm also a giant horror nerd, but go ahead.
so as you in any business you're gonna have to build a team. And, any entrepreneur who's like anti-team, they're self-employed. So that huge distinction.
Mhm.
But as you start building a team and as you start growing and growing and your team starts facing adversity, the huge lesson in that is now I guarantee you down the road one of your teammates is going to come up to you and or hit you with a, hey man, I got a flat tire and it's 4 a.m. I'm not going to show up. And you don't have to chew them out, but in your mind you're like, all right, well, I don't make excuses, so I can't accept excuses.
Mhm.
That's another cashism. Um, because he'll tell you stories like, "Oh, I had a flat tire. I only had like $5 in pennies to pay my gas, so I had to go like $2
Oh
here,
yeah,
$2 here, a
yeah.
dollar here." There's so much adversity that you will face in the growing process, and one of my favorite things is you can't control the situation, but you can control your emotions and how you react to the situation.
Mhm.
I'm at a point now where like whenever I get cut off on the road, I'm like, they probably stopped me from getting in a bigger accident.
Yeah.
Or, maybe I was going too fast. Maybe I should not have been on my phone when that was happening. Like, I laugh it off and I'm grateful. I'm like, hey, you slowed me down. Cool. Um, but yeah,
I
just
still call people cunts, and I'm just like, you fucker.
hey,
But I'm chill about it now. I'm never like
every now and
anymore.
then,
I'm just like, you're a dick, but I'm cool.
I do have to acknowledge the dumb people on the road. But more often than not, a huge thing I've transitioned to is even when it's 130% not my fault, I always analyze the situation and see what I could have done differently. Because I can't control what someone says to me. I can't control what they do to me. I can't control the uncontrollables. But what I can control is my mindset, my attitude, and how I choose to move forward in any situation.
Mhm.
So if someone just you know, if someone just does the most outlandish thing, and I'm like, what was the point of that? The first question I ask, it's not what's wrong with you, it's what could I have done differently. And it's tough. It's a growth process. Like it's not like it's not like it was an easy transition, but I've also realized that making that mindset shift has really like just decreased stress. And honestly, I laugh at so much crap now. Like, like I'll be like 5 minutes. I'm like, why was I mad about that? That was dumb. Like, let's just keep it moving.
So you talk about the mindset shift. Were there any sort of events that helped trigger that in you, or was it just something you recognized that you made the conscious decision to grow upon?
So full disclosure, and I have no problem talking about this now because one, I realize a good amount of people have gone through it too, but and two, it just helps to like just talk about it. So we're in 2021. About 3.5 years ago, I got a DUI. And it wasn't even just like hey, I got pulled over. Like I realistically questioned like how I didn't die that day. It was stupid. I'm 100% accountable for my actions. Like I don't do that anymore. But essentially, I was on the freeway. I entered on the exit side, so I was going north on the 5 south, and I hit a mound of rocks through the construction zone, flipped the car upside down, airbags in the face, everything. And for me to just kind of, just get out the car when the first responders got there, no broken bones, just, soreness from the chest and busted lip from the braces.
Mm.
So sitting there, after I went to the hospital, got cleared, went to LA County for 12 hours. That whole day was, we all have those days we don't forget. And so November 19th, 2017 was just that I always say that was step one in my growth process because that was like my rock bottom. I
Hmm.
was actually talking to a new business partner of mine, and one thing he said was, don't rob people of their rock bottom.
Hmm.
We want to save people so much, and we want to like prevent worst case scenario, but until you have a traumatic experience or some type of mental shift, like you're gonna continue your toxic habits until you're
Hmm.
kind of forced to change. A perfect example is, the overweight guy who had a heart attack is now a CrossFit instructor.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
so that was step one. I wish it didn't have to come to that point, but it did. But I'm fully aware, and I own up to it. I've already paid my dues. I
Hmm.
did all. I'm in good standing with everything, but that was step one. Like as I was sitting there for 12 hours in this position, just waiting to get released, I was just asking myself. I was like, you really almost just threw it all away right now. Like God forbid, or thank God, I didn't hit anybody and I didn't hurt
Hmm.
myself. Like I literally just wrecked a car.
Hmm.
That's like best case scenario in this situation.
Yeah.
So as I was sitting there, and I'm just like thinking, like, damn, like how could I? It's always one of those never me. Like how in the hell did I did like I went to UCI. I'm a graduate. Like I could never do something like this. Well, I just did. So like
Yeah.
on that day, I learned I'm not invincible, and
Hmm.
I'm just as normal as everybody else is. But as soon as I got out, I'd say I took 2 weeks of like self pity and just like, oh, you're an idiot. How could you do that?
Hmm.
What the hell? Just feeling sorry for myself. And then after I kind of got out of that, I just said, you know what? Like I know I was put here to do more. I'm too damn talented and too damn just awesome because I love myself. I'm just too. I have too much going on to just throw it all away like that. So from that point, I started getting back in shape. At the time, I was about 250 pounds. Um,
Oh,
and
you said chubby years, huh?
yeah, like it
Yeah.
was all in my face, and then my stomach kind of got a little big. I was a very, I loved IPAs. Um, so
Nice.
I started working out. Didn't really have a plan. I was like, I need to work out. I need to do something. I need to change. At the time, I was in a 6 year relationship, and I'm very grateful for those. I mean, all 6 years were good, but that last year and a half, I wouldn't have been able to get back on my feet without her. Like she was essentially my Uber for a year. So you know, that without that, taking me to work, taking me to practice, going with my roommates to the gym, like I really had to rely on others to kind of help me get to where I was supposed to go. And then, things started falling. I got my car, got my license back, got all that. Then, and that relationship ended. We went our separate ways. And once I was, by myself for the next year, that's when I fully committed to like, what do I want in life? When I do have a new relationship, like how do I want that to look like?
Hmm.
Um, and what needs to change first within myself? Like if I can't help myself, how can I help others?
Hmm.
If I can't, if I myself cannot grow, how can I grow with others? If I don't commit to constantly striving for better, how can I expect that of others? Let alone surround myself with others who are also like that.
Hmm.
So I would say that that whole year, that's when I really started losing weight. Shout out to Crystal Williams. Her Instagram is at Manny's Mom Fitness. She actually taught me how to like change my diet and lose weight. And I was before her awesome business kicked off. I think to this morning she posted she made 20 grand this month.
Yeah, she kills it.
Um,
Good follow.
I was her first, like her guinea pig client. Like we worked at a 9 to 5 together, and all we talked about was growth, 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 business, business, business.
Hmm.
And at the time, she was a single mom with a 10-year-old, and she was still coming in 9 to 5, overworked, underpaid, undervalued. And now, she kicked off her business. She used me as like her like before and after. So because of her, I dropped from 240 to 208 pounds in about 3 months, which is pretty cool.
Tell everybody how tall you are too, just so they
Oh,
can the 208 and the 250. So it's not
yeah,
you weren't
yeah.
walking around like a little meatball or anything, were
No,
you?
no. I mean, I'm 6'5", 6'6" on a good day. If you ask my cousin, I wear platform shoes because he won't admit that I'm taller than him. Um, yeah, so like I was 250, but I wasn't like just obese. I just, like I had a little, like one thing I hate is my college graduation photos. Like you can just see like the beer drinker in me. And so yeah, like I committed to losing weight. I just wanted to be better, look better for myself. Dropped down to 208, and I was like, I see some ribs. Let's kick it back up a little bit. So that was step one. Like Crystal taught me how to lose weight. She taught me I would eat like a gang of rice every meal, and then she's like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, you trying to lose weight, but you're like carb loading?" I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just, I'm just not eating fast food. I thought that was the key to weight
Yeah.
loss, but no, it's portion control. It's a lot more than that.
Oh yeah.
So she put me onto that. So for 12 weeks, I did her workouts and her meal plans, and I lost a lot of weight. And then after that, that's when I started my entrepreneurial journey. I was introduced to the Newport Beach office and just haven't looked back since. And as I started to show up to the office more, every Tuesday I was surrounded by entrepreneurs, amazing people.
Mhm.
Everyone is just like growth and positivity. And like he's awesome, but he is pretty shy at
Yeah.
times. So
Very introverted.
when we first got to this conference, he was like, "Why is everyone singing and dancing and clapping?" I'm like, I'm not. Like he's just like stone cold. Come Sunday, at the very least, we got a little clap out of him, and I will take that. Like I will. I was like, yes, he's buying into it. So so being surrounded by that type of just upbeat positivity, it's like, because let's just face it, every day when we go to work, when we wake up, we have our personal problems. We're just constantly being just punched in the face. Like
Mhm.
maybe your boss is talking down on you or like not appreciating you. Maybe you have a less than ideal situation at home and it's just
Mhm.
very toxic or just unhealthy. Same synonyms. Um, Maybe outside of getting beat up at work and getting beat up at home, then you just beat yourself up because you're like, I just want to be happy. Like so, then
Mhm.
you indulge in whatever vices you may have.
Yeah.
So coming to this office and being surrounded by amazing individuals who are just like, damn, like I'm so happy to see you. I'm like, why? like,
Yeah.
like that's your first instinct
Yeah,
because no
like
one.
what's that big dude's name that you introduced me to?
Oh, Dan Ebert,
Yeah.
Mr. Big and not so huge because he's lost a good amount of weight.
Yeah, the first thing he said to me was, "Nice to meet you. I'm so glad you're here." And I'm like, "Dude, we just met. What do you mean? Why would you be glad I'm here? Like, you're getting nothing from me. I haven't really gotten anything from you except for this little weird interaction." But after talking to him for a couple minutes, I just saw like I'm fairly good at reading people, and I could just tell this dude was just absolutely amazing human being. And just that little handshake and him telling me like, "Hey, I'm glad you're here." At first it was weird, but after like it kind of sat with me. And as the day went on, I was like, you know what? Fuck, I'm glad I'm here too. I'm happy that you told me that because, you know, like Damon's saying, we wake up and sometimes we're just, life is kicking our ass. And to hear that first thing out of somebody's mouth without even knowing my name yet, that was a pretty powerful thing to do. And it was so simple. Just, hey, dude, I'm glad you're here. And that, dude, super powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's funny because all it took was, "I'm glad you're here."
Hmm.
4 words just changed his day. It changed the trajectory of his day. He could have been having the worst day. I know he wasn't because we were having a great
And I
time,
was with him. Never a bad time with Damon. So,
but those 4 words really like made turned good to better.
mhm.
And one thing that Cash always tells me is, whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're reflecting on what you don't have, or you're depressed, or you're sad, or you're just not in the best mood, you're probably being selfish. Not selfish of
Yeah.
I want more, but it's I don't have this. Like
Mhm.
I'm not fit, I'm not healthy, I don't make enough money. Like I.
Yeah.
All these I statements are what's making us feel like crap.
Yeah, that's that victim mindset I was talking about earlier.
And the first thing you can do to change that is just go make somebody else's day.
Mhm.
Like, have you ever seen someone pissed off when they go help somebody out? No, not really, unless it's your uncle who you don't want to help move or something. But even then, like you come home, you're like, damn, like without him, like he needed me, I helped him out.
Mhm.
So again, going back to my 100 days and my accountability posts, I'm using that platform. I'm also essentially offering myself my accountability. And I've had people, reach out and say, "Hey, man, like I wanna drink less. I wanna work out. I wanna do this. I wanna do that." Cool. All it takes is a quick. It's day 20. I didn't drink today. It's
Mhm.
day 3. I didn't drink today. Hey, I drank last week. I'm starting like today's day 1. and I'll just kick it back. Good job, you got this. Like that's it, just accountability, but also a sense of community because I'm sure many of us have tried to change, but we have no guidance
Mhm.
or just no direction, and then we're like, oh, this doesn't work.
Mhm.
like I didn't eat fast food for a week, but Sunday I gave in, and I don't want to do it anymore. So just hold like it's a lot harder to give up when someone is in your corner for you, like,
Mhm.
and that's essentially going back to what you said earlier about your whys, like those mornings we don't want to get up. It's like why am I truly busting my ass? Why am I truly getting up and inconveniencing myself? Like what's
Mhm.
the bigger goal? It's not about making X amount of money. It's about um it's about proving those who believed in me right. So for me, it's my grandma. Like I can talk hours about her, but every time I see her, she's like, "Oh, Mijo, I always knew you're gonna do great things. Like you're, like I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you." I'll be damned if I let that woman down. Like I will never.
Mhm.
Like whenever I want to quit, I'm like, "Well, are you really gonna lie to grandma like that?" Like
Yeah, don't
I
fuck with grandma.
I could never. And that's the one person. Like she's number one. Sorry, Jasmine, but but you know this. Um, but yeah, so like that's just kind of just having that platform, having that community, and the best thing about this whole growth process I've been going through is you attract what you are. So when I was 22 and I was drinking on the weekends and I was just going, I was like literally waiting till 5 o'clock on Friday to hit happy hour to go hit
Mhm.
the bars, and then Saturday hit the bars, and then Sunday recover. I mean
Mhm.
Sunday recover. Um, all my friends are doing that. You are the average of the five people you associate with the most. So if your circle averages a $40,000 salary, you probably do too.
Mhm.
If your circle wants to drink and smoke and all that on the weekends, you probably do too. Like I don't even have to know you, but if I see your circle, I know what you're about. Otherwise, you
Mhm.
wouldn't be there.
Exactly.
You never see the multimillionaire kicking it with the 40,000 person. It's just a whole different mindset, whole different things.
Mhm.
So as I've been growing, and this essentially also led me to Jasmine, and going back to writing things down, I wrote down exactly what I wanted. I said, like in my next relationship, whenever that is, I'm not gonna go looking for it. I'm not gonna be, sliding in DMs or whatever. Like, whenever that time comes, I want someone who's motivated, who has vision, who is like a fire starter, like just like can get it going, and has a sense of independence. Like I don't have to be there every step of the way for her to get stuff done. Like the peace of mind knowing that, well, I'm over here crushing my goals, like you're also crushing your goals as well.
Mhm.
And then Jasmine comes in the picture, and the first thing I said, no, I don't even know. She's better at storytelling about us than I am. But I know from the jump, I was like so closed off. I don't want a relationship. Like I'm just here to grow. I'm here to grow. I'm here to grow. Like I have the blinders on. I'm in the gym. I read. I'm doing this business. Like
Mhm.
no, I don't have time for a relationship. And then the more and more I got to know her and we started to talk and hang out, I was like, damn it, like it's like how what's that saying? You have a plan and God laughs. Yeah, I definitely got laughed at for that one. Within the span of 2 months, I was like, "There's no way I can't ask this girl to be my girlfriend." And she warned me, like literally, I was like, "I want you to be my girlfriend," and she didn't say yes. She said, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going back on that one." So that story is 100% accurate. I know that for a fact because she loves telling that story. But it if I still carried that 22-year-old mindset, if I was still, being toxic and indulging in self-destructive habits,
Mhm.
I would not have been ready to receive that blessing in the form of Jasmine. I would not have been ready to receive that blessing in the form of Cash and Johnny and all the other amazing men, Danny Ebert, all the other amazing people in that office.
Mhm.
I would not have been ready to receive the blessings from my real estate mentor, who's kind of lit a fire in me to kind of pursue athletics more seriously. I just would not have been ready for it. There's people who like you can put the best opportunity in front of them, and they just don't understand the
And
value of it.
fumble it.
Yeah, because they just don't understand the like what they can do with it because they're not
Mhm.
in the right mindset. So like that's why I love the growth so much, and I now I'm obsessed with it because I'm like, well, what else can I attract? What else can I,
Hmm.
like in like this time next year, I'm breaking six figures. Like it's already a done deal. I've got everything planned out, but I believe I deserve that, so I will attract it.
Hmm.
If you don't believe you can make six figures, you'll never make six figures. Essentially, whether you believe or you don't believe, you're right. So if you don't believe you can be an MMA fighter, no, you won't
Oh, I'm
be.
not just gonna be a MMA fighter. I'm gonna be a world champion, motherfucker. You bet your ass I'm gonna be a world
Yes, I've
champion.
never heard him say he's here to
Nope.
compete. He's here to win.
Nope. I'm here
I
to win. I'm here to take it all. I'm here to take fucking people's heads, and it is what it is. That's what's going to be. Everybody says, "Oh, but you have two bad knees." I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
you have to believe it. You really do. Like I was laughing at Nick and I always like to compete and take jabs at each other, but kind of to train for what I'm trying to do, he'll size me up with these big guys in the gym, and we'll just go like we'll do like O line, D line stuff just to mess around. And then he like looks at the biggest guy. He's like, "Can you take him?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I can." He's like, "Really? You think you can do that?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "The second I say I can't, I already lost." So I can be scared, I can be nervous, but I
For
can't
sure.
I can't count myself out ever.
Yeah.
And that's life, that's business, that's health, that's wealth, that's whatever the case may be. Like step one is believe it. Step two is write it down. Anything that you can conjure up here it will not come to fruition until you put it on a piece of paper. I learned that not the hard way, but I had these business goals, and I literally had a little piece of paper, like like super small, and I put like 10 goals of mine. It was make $10,000 in a month. It was take my grandma to Hawaii. It was quit my job. It was do X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And I put this paper in my pocket. This is Bob Proctor taught me this one. Um, so every time, I'm walking around and like I'm on Instagram or I'm just kind of like BSing, I would, just sit back and put my hand in my pocket and I would feel the goals. Not because I needed a reminder of what they were, but like, hey, keep going, keep
Mhm.
going, keep going. Why are you sitting here? Why aren't you moving? Like grandma's on this piece of paper. Are you like she's do it for her type of thing.
Mhm.
So sure enough, I took grandma to Hawaii. I've made $10,000 in a month. Um, as the business gets more consistent, I will eventually quit my job like any entrepreneur wants to do.
Mhm.
And none of that was even possible until I set my sights on it. I wrote it down and I read it to myself. That's the key. Going back to the how often do you revisit your goals? Every
Mhm.
day. Essentially, once the fire from these events kind of fizzles out, you have to do something that motivates you. You have to be a self motivator. Like you cannot rely on somebody else to bring you that energy. Because if you
Mhm.
do, then what happens when that person's gone? What happens if they move? Are you gonna call your best friend at, hey, I'm not feeling it today. Can you just fire me up a little bit? Like, no, you have to. I'm not gonna call you at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever asked Damon for motivation. Like, hey, dude, I'm not feeling good today. Can you give me a little something? No, it's like, I know he's working, so guess what? I'm gonna go work too. And, just like Damon's been saying this entire conversation, it comes down to just making a choice, really. It's all about decision making.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's I can talk for hours
Yeah.
about this.
All right, let's go ahead and switch gears then, since that was all great, by the way. Absolutely. I hope whoever's listening, you guys will learn something from this. My 7 listeners or whoever's out there, I got to make fun of myself. That's another important thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit. This is an MMA podcast, which is a sport. You talk about athletics. You probably don't want to drop the bomb yet, but go ahead and tell us what are some of your athletic goals when it comes to working out, lifting, all that good stuff, and are there any possible professional goals? If you're ready to drop that or not.
So at the very least, throughout my youth and high school career, I was always that kid who I had the talent, never really put the work in outside the gym. Like whatever the coach told me to do, I would do it. If he was
Mhm.
like, go run X amount of routes, catch X amount of balls, I was there. In the gym, here's the workout, do it, I would do it. But I never studied film. I never went home and did more push-ups. I never did any of that. And to no surprise, I didn't get the looks I wanted. I didn't have the career I thought I would have. Like, and that was just poor mindset. I had a very employee mindset. It was, I showed up, where's my dividends? It
Mhm.
wasn't, it wasn't, I did nothing when the coaches weren't looking. So, it's funny. I always tell 'em, like my numbers because people are always like just don't like to, or it's just funny. So Senior year, I was 6'2", about 170. I was a twig. Again, I didn't work out. I for damn sure couldn't even bench a plate.
Yeah,
Like
we thought at the time we thought we're strong because we could
we,
we could incline press I think 35 pounds and we're like fucking ripped
I
up.
think yeah, we did Coach Costancio wherever you're at.
Yeah, we miss you. You
Um,
were the best coach I've ever
he
had.
he latched on to us because we were like he's like, hey man, you guys are good dudes, but you gotta get bigger in the gym. So he put us on. We were doing like 4 sets of 12 on dumbbell press, and it was, how, like at any gym, you have the dumbbells that are all the same set, and then you have like the smaller ones. So in our high school gym, the 25s, that was like the biggest of the small ones. So we hit that for 12. I'm like, yeah, like hell yeah, and get a little cut, but really we were just cut because I was 170 pounds. Like it wasn't because I was strong, I just had no fat.
Oh
So
man.
once I left high school, and then I finished college at 6'5", 235. So from 18 to 22, I grew another 3, 4 inches, and I put on 50 pounds. I'd say about 10 of that was IPAs. But I was running around the lacrosse field just hitting people, and I turned into an all conference defender, which is pretty cool. Um, so professional goals, or I guess athletic goals, now that I'm fully aware, like, I have to put in all the work. I just want to be in the best physical shape of my life. Now,
Mm,
it's not enough to say best shape because that could be today. I could stop
yeah.
and be like, I'm in the best shape because I am.
Mm,
But goals, I want to put up 2 plates on bench 10 times, like with ease. I want to go squat 3 plates 10 to 15 times with ease. I want to, like do like knock out 30 reps of dips unassisted and pull ups. Like I want to be fully versatile and agile.
mm,
Professional goals, like I said, I currently play semi-pro lacrosse. Um, I very much have the chance to tap into that pro league if I really wanted to. I unfortunately just haven't really committed as much time to lacrosse because I'm more business oriented.
mm,
But again, I literally just registered on Friday to come back for another season, so I'm excited about that. And then again, the power of networking and how I mentioned earlier, like through the growth process, you meet and attract people who are kind of in alignment with where you're trying to go. So again, if I hadn't grown and started this business and been more sociable and network minded, I would have never came across my real estate mentor, Craig Kenny. Um, in the month and a half we've been working together, like I'm very grateful for everything. Like essentially, like he's like my trainer outside of the gym.
mm.
Like he'll call me up, hey, did you read that book? Hey, did you get that DBA? Hey, did you do this? Hey, did you study? Hey, did you like? And I'm like, all right, go, 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 go. Like now, like I know he's gonna be calling me, so I gotta be on it. But essentially, he asked me. He was like, when I first met him, he's like, man, bro, like he's like, you're big. Like, where you play ball at? And I'm like, I don't. I'm like, I play lacrosse, but I'm not playing ball. And he's like, you trying to play for the Rams? And I'm like, man, don't. I'm like, don't BS me. Like, what kid growing up didn't have any type of NFL aspiration, whether it
Yeah.
was first string, second string, water boy, like just to be on that field, like would be a blessing. And so like I didn't believe him. I didn't I didn't go home like I'm gonna be a Ram. Like I didn't none of that. I was like yeah, bro, whatever. And then I went home that night and I called Jasmine. I was like, man, you won't believe this BS I heard today. Like this dude talking about he gonna get me on the field, whatever. And she was like, why not? And I was like, why the fuck not? Like like
Yeah. Shit.
like that's like the if anyone ever has doubts, just throw a why not at them. Like make them tell you why not,
Mm,
and then they're either going to give you excuses or they're going to just go do it. So I, it's not 100% clear. It's not 100% like there's no clear like tryout date or anything.
mm,
And I also recently learned I'm probably gonna have to take a separate avenue and go over some leaps and hurdles. But again, like why not? Like
mm.
if if I make it, cool. Like like that's a lot more than anyone ever expected of me and of myself, as of like 3 months ago. Like I didn't
Mm,
even think that was a possibility. But again, like why not? So that's kind of why I've really doubled down on my fitness, and I also started working with my high school coach, Coach Biggers. So I essentially have like 3 fitness mentors right now. I have
mm,
Nick, who was like the catalyst of my fitness. His accountability. He's in there day in day out. I think every day except Sundays, he's in there at like 4 in the morning, whether
mm,
he's working out or training. So like I love his accountability and his presence because he'll never ask something that he won't do himself.
Hmm.
You know, if he says 4 o'clock, he's there at 3:45,
Hmm.
and then gets mad at me for not being there at 3:45. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I have Coach Biggers. He specializes more in speed, agility, um, a lot of um, a lot of lower body. What's the word? Just like he really focuses on muscle isolation. He has a pretty awesome story. He played semi-pro football, went to University of Minnesota, and he instead of taking a surgery on one of his blown knees, he just rehabbed himself. Like he sat in his room, kettlebells, foam rollers, and just literally studied and worked the muscles back into strength instead of having to take that season-ending injury.
Hmm.
So now he takes everything that he's learned and applies it to his kids and myself, all the kids at St. Paul High School and other clients. And then another friend of mine, Adrian,
Big Rod.
A Rod. Everyone in our circle knows who he is just because he's a literally like a product of himself.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is he is that big cut guy. He studied the human body. He knows like down to the T. Like if you want to lose X amount of weight, you gotta
Hmm.
do this. You want to put on X amount of weight, you gotta do this. You gotta eat this. You have to eat at this time. Eat this meal. Measure this out. Take this supplement if you need to. He's competed in bodybuilding and fitness contests. Like everything that man says, I take it. I write it
Hmm.
down. I'm on it. Because I mean, like he's been through it.
Yeah.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, like you want to find a mentor who's been through it. Nick has an amazing weight loss goal or journey. I love his his high school pictures where he just looks like that kid who would never be an athlete, and now he's over here like
Shredded.
4 or 5 inches shorter than me, but lifting almost twice my weight.
Yeah.
Kicks my ass in hit workouts. He will out burpee me, out squat jump me. Only thing he can't beat me in is a foot race, and I'll take that. I'll take what I can get.
You hear that, Nick? I want to see it.
Cannot beat me in a foot race. We tested this 2 weeks ago with Vickers.
Oof.
He's gonna say it's my stride. I'm just faster. I don't want to hear it. So yeah, so like weight loss and accountability and just intensity, I go to Nick. For the little bits and pieces, the nuts and bolts, the meat and potatoes, the fine tuning, I go to Adrian. And then just to ensure my lower body health and like relieving stress on my knees. I had a fractured vertebrae in high school. Like my sciatic nerves, my hip alignment and adjustments. I go to Coach Biggers.
Mhm.
So and that's another lesson in itself. Like this, you don't have to rely on just one person. I take the best from all three and I
Mhm.
apply it to myself. And even then, like I'm not a master of it. I just say, hey, go talk to Nick. I
Mhm.
literally just sent Nick a referral this morning. Hey, go talk to Adrian. As soon as he starts training, go talk to Adrian. Hey, go talk to Gerald. He's awesome. And I
Mhm.
even take these guys with me to go train with Biggers just to show like the variety I'm
Mhm.
going through. And then on top of that, I think the most important thing and the hardest part, this is like the last thing I'll talk about, um, your diet. Dieting is the key to any fitness goal.
Yeah.
Me personally, if you're like me, I hate cooking. I wouldn't say I hate it. I just never took the time to get good at it, nor do I want to make the time for it.
Mhm.
So I actually reached out to one of my good friends from college. She's a culinary chef, and I was like, hey Jordan, um, I have fitness goals. Nick just challenged us to lose the most weight and the biggest transformation. I know I can bust my ass in the gym, but if I eat like crap, I'm gonna lose. I have pretty fierce competition in in the forms of Andrea, Rosa, Yasmina, the whole morning crew at Fit Nation. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Although those are all women I just named off.
Yeah,
Um,
they're beasts. They kick our
they
ass on some mornings.
They
We're
they
just
beat
like,
me
how
there in
the
the
fuck are you
mornings.
doing
I
this?
show up and Rose has been on the stairmaster for 30 minutes. She's like, all
Yeah.
right, let's start working out, and I'm like, it is 5 a.m. You've been here since what time? These women are truly
Uh,
powerful, and for you, Andre, I'm in your head rent free always. Um, so in order to truly beat them, because I knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. Like, sure, I may lift more than them, but they show up day in, day out. There's my favorite clip is when me and Andre are doing battle ropes together, and she got mad because I accused her of cheating, so she was just constantly shit talking me while doing her battle ropes, and then beat me and then walked off. Like,
ooh.
I can't answer that. I want to recount, I want to redo, but Andrea, you're a beast, and thank you. Um, but in order to win that December contest, which I did, I declared it on November 30th, and I claimed my victory on January 7th. I knew diet was a huge key. So I reached out to my friend Jordan. I was like, hey, I'm not trying to cook. Can I deliver my groceries to you? Because I know you can throw down the kitchen. How much will you charge me to cook my meal preps? And now I'm on like my eighth consecutive week with her, and she follows the guidelines. I give her the groceries, so it's not like she has to worry about ingredients. Whatever's in the meal plan, I put on her doorstep. She whips it up. I'm currently getting about 20 meals a week from her, and they're all measured out to the T, to the weight, to the gram or the ounce, and packaged up, and boom, boom, cool.
Mm.
So that in itself is another huge lesson. Like it's not just you can't just work out.
Yeah, you cannot out diet. You cannot you cannot outwork a bad diet.
Correct.
There's no such thing. The top athletes in the world, the people you see on fitness magazines and follow on Instagram, and you're like, I want a body like that. Well, guess what? They don't. You guys go to the gym and think that's where you're building the body. No, you build the body in the kitchen. Um, Everything you put into your body, it literally is your body.
Hmm.
It goes on to reflect. Like me myself, I wasn't eating the healthiest, and it shows. I'm going through a transformation right now. I'm getting back into fight shape, and the biggest key to that, I've always worked out. I've always worked hard. I could always lift a fair amount of weight. Um, the number one key, the biggest change has been my diet, and I too have been meal prepping. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, but meal prepping is so expensive." Not really. I know Damon's meal prep is reasonable. I have two meal prep companies I work with. Shout out to Iconic Meals and shout out to Healthy Habits. You guys are the best. But yeah, if you guys ever do need help, please feel free to hit up me and Damon when it comes to meal prep. We do have a lot of companies that we know of, a lot of people who can help. Not just us ourselves, but like Damon mentioned, we do have our trainers. He has A Rod, Biggers, and Nick. I myself have a personal trainer's license and I know what I'm talking about, but I too have these mentors and trainers to keep me, one, keep me accountable, two, to give me the knowledge I don't have, three, just to motivate and push me. There's nothing like having somebody there to help push you. But yeah, thank you, Damon, for everything. One thing before I leave, though, your boy, Alistair Keith Overing, takes on Volkov this weekend. Give me your prediction, who wins and how. I know you're going with Overing, but how does he get it done?
So first off, the reason
Big
why it's
Keith,
so funny is because I believe when we watched Brock Lesnar versus Alistair Overeem
2011, I believe it
at
was.
Buffalo Wild Wings, it was us two and our buddy James. Um,
Shout out to James, you fucking sack of.
I am
Love you.
not I'm not as knowledgeable in MMA as these two are. We have a group chat, and there'll be times where they just blow it up for
Magnum boys.
for like 30 messages, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit this one out because I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not gonna act like I do. So we were at Buffalo Wild Wings. I think we were like what 20,
No, not even then. We're in
It
high
was
school
that.
still.
Shoot.
Yeah, it was like
Oh
2011.
yeah,
It was Alistair Overeem's
my
debut.
stepdad dropped me off.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like
Shit, we're like 16 years old.
we were sitting there, and yeah, I was like, man, I really hope Keith Overeem wins. And they're like, who the fuck is Keith? And I'm like, the big Dutch guy in the ring. They're like, no, his name is Alistair. So ever since they're never gonna live that down,
Yeah,
nor should they, because that's hilarious. But I'm ride or die Keith Overeem, Alistair Overeem. I'm this dude's been fighting for like 20 some years now, right? Like,
forever. He started off with like your physique, real tall and skinny, and then he just ate all the horse meat and was just the scariest physique I've ever seen in a fighter. And dude, he fought with that physique. He would just march people down and kill them. But yeah, he started off in Pride. He beat Vitor Balfour back in Pride, I think in like '05 or something. But yeah, he's been doing it shit forever.
I think I fell in love with him because of that body kick to Lesnar. I mean, that was just brutal.
Yeah, if you're coming off of diverticulitis or any stomach injury, it's probably not a good idea to fight Alistair over him. But what do I know?
But yeah, so yeah, I'm ride or die Keith. I don't even know who the other guy is.
Volkov, tall Russian dude, is like 7 feet tall. He has a sting. He has the Moana stingray on his back tattooed.
Gotcha. Just for the sake of consistency, I'm gonna rock with Keith.
How does he get it done? Which round?
Is it a 3 round fight?
5.
5 round fight. It's not gonna go past three. Um, I'm going to say Keith will stun him in the second round, and because I mean with that height difference, I'm just throwing some BS out there. With that height
He's the
difference,
expert.
he's gonna take the Mike Tyson approach and just bully his way in there, hit him with a little overhand, stun him, chase him across the ring because he's not trying to go down. We're us tall guys, we don't fall. Like we stumble across the floor,
If I hit you, you will.
and then he's gonna finish it off. You know, a little bit of ground and pound, and whoever the ref is gonna step in. So second round TKO, just to be extra. Uh, third minute.
Okay.
You heard it here.
Okay.
If I get
Heard
some,
it here.
you can buy more Movita if I get that
Movito.
right.
Yeah. Thank you, Movito. You're not a sponsor, nor will you probably ever be, but your
No, you will
shit's
be.
delicious. Thank you.
Sponsor me. I love this peanut butter smoothie.
But there you have it, guys. That's another episode of the Nightmare MMA Hour. Damon, any last words?
Um, just commitment. You know, whatever it is. Commit to being better. Commit to growth. Unless you like where you're at. I mean, some people do. I don't. I know he doesn't. If you're truly looking to make a change, if you're truly looking to just kind of start something, maybe you're like, I don't know what I want to change. I want to do something. I guarantee you have somebody in your warm market, your inner circle, who
Mhm.
can at least guide you, or at least be like, hey, I also want to not do that anymore. Let's do it together.
Mhm.
Just don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to reach out. For those who know me, or even don't know me, you can follow me on Instagram at Damon Roulhac. I'm sure you'll tag it in the.
Yeah, for sure.
You can feel free to follow me. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm growth. Word of the day, word of the year, word of the decade. Growth.
Mhm.
Just nonstop, constant growth and commitment to growth. So yeah, thank you again. I
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my
Thanks for
time here.
joining. It was great. Hope you guys learned something. Damon is a human who's just crazy when it comes to all this shit. His knowledge is insane, and he's also a little bit of financial wizard. So if you need help with finances, that's your guy. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.